What keeps me grounded? First of all, let me tell you values, our tradition values. I was taught by my parents in my childhood, and the discipline. Discipline in the sense, our music itself makes one disciplined. I just tell you, when we are practicing or singing one raga, one melody, we start with first note that is sa, and whatever the variations we do, we have to come back to the sa. That itself is a great discipline for each singer. And then, same way in rhythm, we have matras, 16 matras, 48 matras, 7 matras, like that. Even in rhythm, we have to start the song on one point and have to come back to the same point as completing one circle. So this swar and laya makes you perfectly disciplined. Whatever you do the variation, you have to come to the sum in laya. And same way you have to come to the sa while singing. So while singing, you feel that you are disciplined. And another thing, prayer. Prayer means, you are remembering the Creator, Almighty, and you are doing your best and complete surrender to the Lord. That is prayer. So one has to be physically, mentally, and spiritually fit to carry out any mission in life. That's what I feel. I told you the values, discipline, and the prayer. And then, sometimes you have to take such a strong and difficult situations. And those situations, later, you feel that you are grounded because of these situations. At the age of 16, I had to take one very strong decision. I'll explain to you. In those days, pre-university course was there. I'm talking about some decades ago. In Padmavati Women's College, Tirupati. I have to choose between my friends and between my ambition. That is, my friends were all applying for medicine. They were taking physics, chemistry, biology. And I am supposed to take music because music is my inborn talent and music always have been my life. It was a tough decision. Neither I could leave my friends, nor I could leave my music. So I have taken physics, chemistry, biology with music, which is a rare combination. Rare combination. And then, of course, I had to face angry father, but I pacified him later on. And see, you plan something, and then the Almighty has a different plan. I got a seat also in medical college to go to Nepal. He was a government officer on 3-year agreement to my father. It was a great opportunity for my father, and he cannot leave a 16-year-old young girl in, at that time I was 17. 17-year young girl in India in hostel and then go to Kathmandu. So he convinced me that he will take me to Shantiniketan where I can study music there. Both of us had no idea what music will be there. Initially I was trained in Carnatic music and then I used to sing film songs. This was my background. Later on when I went to Shantiniketan, there I found Hindustani classical music and all the seats were filled up. No vacancy. Then what can I do? Then the vice chancellor tells me You have a choice if you want to.
Age of 18, after completing 1 year in Shantiniketan, again I had to take a strong decision. I first heard Hindustani classical music, which touched my heart. Immediately I decided I must learn this beautiful music. How? I don't know. I just decided. And again I had to face my angry father. Why did you take such a decision? You were already to some extent trained in Hindustani. My first guru was my mother, and then Sangeet Vidwan Janaki Ramanji. Why did you take this decision? I again persuaded me, no, daddy, it's a beautiful music. Don't worry, it will happen. How it happened, again, all God's will. I got married very early, just soon after the graduation. See, all these challenges in life, unexpected. When I went to my gurus, they told me there is one condition for you if you want to be a serious musician. I said, okay, Guruji, please tell me what is it. 5 years you shouldn't listen, you shouldn't practice your Carnatic music. I don't want to name a respectable lady. They named one particular musician and said, don't be like her. She was singing both the styles, Carnatic and Hindustani. She was not successful. Since you have a good voice, since you want to become a good Hindustani classical musician, we would like that 5 years you should not listen, you should not practice Carnatic music. That was indeed very painful for me. But in those days, we never go against our elders. That was how we were brought up. I obeyed my gurus 100% with pain in my heart. But later on, that pain took a shape of my current project, Indian Classical Music Integration. What is that? That is, I took absolutely Carnatic ragas, composed in Hindustani style, set to different talas, and started teaching as well as performing, which has been very well received, and it has been recorded 3 hours, 50 minutes recording, and 10 of my ragas and 19 composition was recorded by IGNCA. The CD has been released, and wherever I performed, I got praise, I got appreciation from both Carnatic and Hindustani students. So that's how, things. Thank you. It is still one of my ongoing projects. So, after Guru's advice, my real struggle started after my marriage. I was in a joint family where my in-laws, my brother-in-laws, everyone was academically oriented and they were only interested in academics. I should do further master and then PhD, so on, like that. But my intention was not to do MA, PhD. My intention was to learn Hindustani classical music. That's why I came to Bengal, and that's why I married a Bengali, all this, who promised me that he will support me. But he did his duty, but I had to face the music whole day. I never, after staying 4 years in hostel, I never knew even how to make a cup of tea. I started learning everything. Of course, my mother-in-law was a very kind lady in that respect. She taught me all Bengali dishes. I used to learn from her. Only her objection was, why this girl is wasting her time? That was by learning Hindustani classical music. That was only her objection. Though I was facing everyday difficulty in practicing because they were all refugees from Bangladesh, very small flat, no space and a lot of people, and guests always keep coming. I had to find some space to practice. That was a What can I tell you? Great struggle for me. One day, I just called my father. I was absolutely in tears. I became mother also at a very young age. Few months old baby, and then managing him, doing household chores, staying in joint family, no place to practice, and even learning music was also how to go, who will take me, and who will take care of my child. All these were a problem. So I called my father. My father said it was your own decision, but anyway, he recited the same old shloka of my childhood. Uddharedatma atmanam atmanamavsadayet atmaiva ripuratmanaha atmaiva atmano bandhu. That means you yourself are your friend. You yourself are your enemy. If you want, you can develop yourself. If you want, you can destroy yourself. So, wipe off your tears. And another thing he advised me, where there is a will, there is a way. So remember these two things and go ahead. Sky is the limit for you. That's what my father said. So every day I offer my humble pranam to my father, and even today I go ahead and I follow his both advices. So, in learning, another thing I'll tell you, while I was learning, the students who are familiar in Hindustani music must have heard the name of Rag Gurjari Todi. Anyone heard of Gurjari Todi? Anyway, doesn't matter. It's a beautiful rag, but very difficult and tough rag. My Guruji was teaching me that raga, and I was unable to follow because it was very tough for me. And then he told me, you can never sing Hindustani classical music. You have a voice which is suitable for light music and film music and Thumri and Dadra. Give up this and concentrate to film music and then Thumri and Dadra. And he told this in front of stalwarts. There were many stalwarts sitting there and many students. I felt very depressed and came and started weeping. My husband told me, don't weep. Take it as a challenge and prove yourself. But again, I remember my father saying, I started working very hard, managing house, managing. Same raga, I sang in All India Radio. And I called my Guruji. Guruji, please listen to this raga and tell me if I made any mistakes and correct me and advise me. So next day, I went to learn. He said, you sang beautifully. He clapped and said, you sang beautifully. It was very nice. Then I told him, Guruji, 3.5 years ago, you told me that I won't be able to sing Hindustani classical music. I can only sing film songs and Thumri Dadra. So I just wanted that what are the mistakes I made. You remember still, it's so many years before I told you. So he appreciated me. That's how, every incident, momentarily you may feel very hard, you may feel very sad, you may feel very difficult. But in the long run, same thing, becomes your strength. Well, again I say, music is my life, music is my ambition, and music makes you one disciplined. So I started, doing so many projects through music, by which I can propagate our culture, our music, and at the same time it will be useful to the society. So that's how I started Gondwana Dan. Gondwana Dan means that is a combination of our music Gondwana land, I think all the students must be aware of, right? Where India, Australia, South Africa, etc. were same, but due to geographical reasons later on divided. But my idea was, no doubt music is a universal language, but human emotions are also same, whether you are African or European or American or whether you are Indian. On that basis, we have developed this project with a double Grammy Award winner, Robin Hogarth. That was very successfully received, very successful. It has been very well received by both press and public in India and USA, etc. And then there was another project, Rise in India, how music came from Samaved. Right now, music is used as a music therapy. It was used Vande Mataram. Everybody used to sing Vande Mataram and get inspired. So this was, and Veer Meera. Meera's bhakti, I mean devotion, everybody knows. But in 15th century, 15th and 16th century, how Meera showed her boldness, it has never been highlighted. So my project is highlighting the boldness of Meera. That is also very well received. So these are the projects, and also musical saints always inspired me. And the great heroes like Swami Vivekananda, Jhansi Bai, Shivaji. The name of your college itself is the name of Shivaji itself, inspires everyone. His life and his mother Jijia Bai's life, it's very inspiring. All these heroes and then musical saints like Tulsidas, Surdas, Kabir, etc. They all inspired me. So it's also another project propagating the philosophy of musical science, and also Veer Meera, highlighting the boldness of Veer Meera. All these projects, and not only in our country, to take it forward globally. This is also another thing I am doing with all the difficulties. First of all, my transition from Carnatic music to Hindustani, that itself is a big glitch. And secondly, staying in a joint family, different language, different customs, adopting everything. In that atmosphere, 10 years I was there, till my in-laws were alive, I was there. So managing everything, and later on raising 2 kids. I have 2 sons. 2 sons, of course, by God's grace. One is leading retina surgeon, another is a businessman. So my grandchildren, everything, we are in a joint family. Still, I am busy with my own music and with my own work. That's again God's grace. Thank you. Because, I am used to talk extempo. I may forget some good point. That's why sometimes I see. And then, another thing was very challenging for me. In those days, instrumental music was very well received in West. Vocal music was not so much. So I did many tours in Europe, USA, West Asia, Africa, Algeria. Algeria is in Africa, and different continents. But I found, I was aware that our music is very powerful. Our music is very powerful, but how they will respond, it was a big question mark for me. But later on, I was very happy to note, and music is really a universal language. It appeals to everyone if you can sing properly. Once in Germany, I explained one composition and I started singing. Abuto ghar aag ghanshyam. I explained to the audience that Mata Yashoda was singing this song to Lord Krishna. Same way your mothers also, thinking, why my boy, my girl, not yet come. Her son is in boarding school. Now after hearing music, she wants to see her son. So that's how our music appeals. Thanks to our Indian classical music, at least I could make a mother remember her duties. You know, in West people are something, they are very good, no doubt, I have nothing to say, but our mothers are more concerned, right? Am I right? पूछते रहते हैं ना, बेटा अभी नहीं आया, अभी नहीं आया. So, like that, I was very happy, at least, mother could feel that what Yashoda felt for her son. Like that, many incidents happened. And that means our music appeals to everyone. And again, another beautiful incident happened when I performed in Zurich, Switzerland. One couple saw my poster outside and they just attended my concert. Then I was explaining the beautiful relation between Radha, Krishna and all these things. I sang one composition. It was about 2 hours concert. They patiently listened and they appreciated. And it was a great thing for me and a pleasant surprise. I said we were about to divorce. We were going to the court. But there, everything they do with celebration. Whether you are divorcing or marrying, everything. So, but we heard your music and your explanation of love between a power to unite one couple. Is it? So, this is what I feel, when one has this willpower, one has this dedication, one has this determination. I think all of you know, my dear young students, my dear bright young students, my message to you all is, just like in music, sound makes you disciplined, and following rhythm makes you disciplined. So, I request you all to have the basic knowledge of music. So many subjects you are learning, just have a basic knowledge in music that will help you. This is one thing I would like to say our young students. Now, not necessarily, because why I am doing Mir Mira project, we don't have to become a Veer Mira. Just see her determination, see her dedication. According to Mahatma Gandhi, she was the first rebellion woman who opposed Sati Sahagamanam. You know, what is Sati Sahagamanam? I think young girls, they know. In previous good olden days, after husband's death, wife also has to die. Later on, Raja Ram Mohan Rai developed this idea. But in 15th century, Veer Mira, she objected, she opposed to this idea of burning the wife along with her husband. So this is a great message she gave. And then she educated women in those days. She made her reminded of their duties in those days. So Veer Mira is an example for all the women, for all the categories of women in India and also abroad. Don't you all agree? Yes. And then what else you would like to know me to share? Tell me. And moreover, so many challenges I faced because I don't belong to any Hindustani classical gharana. No, one more struggle I would like to tell before you. I am not any Panditji's daughter, neither I belong to any Khan Sahib's gharana. And being a lady, being a married lady, I had to do my so many duties at home, and then in public life also I had to face. But thanks to All India Radio and Doordarshan, by which in our days, I used to give audition and became a top grade artist. Here again I have to remember my father. When I became top life, and God bless you all, I'll conclude whatever little I have shared my life journey. I can go on telling so many other things, but I think this is enough for you people for now. Today is Hanuman Jayanti. I'll just sing one composition, my own composition, and Lord Hanuman.